Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm going to continue with this Connect4. Now from the last video, I think I made a mistake. In clearing the cache, I set it to an empty object and that was a mistake. What you should do is use cache.clear, then just set it to a new object. So you just want to destroy it completely. And hopefully that will free the memory up. And in initialize board, you can just clear the cache and that will just destroy the object and recreate it. Okay, hopefully that will free the memory up that was used. Okay, now I've put some CSS in this and it's already been put in and it's here. All this does is so that I can resize it, because obviously I've been messing around and it's been too big sometimes and I've been struggling, and then I thought to myself, why don't I just do this? Why don't I just scale it? So now it's scaled. So as you can see, I can even do this. So now I've got, if I do that, I've got everything showing. Okay, that's better. So that's this CSS will just do that. That's just for that size. All of this will just scale it. I've just added a class onto the component. I'll show you which one it was. If you come here, you see that I've added the class. I don't know where these spaces come from. I'll get rid of them. Oops. Now I can hear my computer racing. I'm not sure what's going on. Must be recording the video. Anyway, so that's being done. So another thing that we need to do is the game needs to be more playable, because at the moment what I'm doing is I set the depth to, I might set the depth to 6 and then I play it, and then when I change the board size I set the depth to 4, or I might set it to 12 and say, okay, it's too much, it's too little now. And sometimes when you're playing a game, when you get, even though I've set the depth to 11, at the start of the game, the depth might be too, it might be too slow. And then as you get deeper into the game, it should be really looking at a depth of say 15 or 16 or 17. Okay, and because they set the depth, it's no good. It's not very good. It's not playable. Another thing as well is, if you're playing a game of Connect4, you don't want to be waiting 1 minute for a move. So really, the program should, for instance, you might just say, I want to play a game, and the maximum you're going to take is 5 seconds a move for the computer. And if I think 5 seconds is real, even 10 seconds a move, that's reasonable if you're playing a game of Connect4 and you're playing, but it's not reasonable to play 1 minute a move. So the game's not playable at the moment because of this things I mentioned. So in this video, I'm going to try to get it so that you can set it to play 5 seconds a move, and also the depth will be variable. Like, it wouldn't just be a fixed depth of 6 or 7 or 8, for instance, or when it can, it should be looking, it shouldn't be playing moves in half a second. It should be looking, if it's got time, it should be looking deeper into the position. So I'm going to fix that in this video. So what we want to do, we want to have a time limit on this game so that it doesn't go on forever. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have to add some properties into here. I'm going to add their Monday here, and I'm going to take that last one off. And it's just going to be stop. So when it's set to stop, that means the thing will just stop. I'm going to program it so that it's going to stop. So it's going to jump out of the loops. It's in many loops, but it's going to jump out of all of them when it says stop. Okay? Start, that's the start time, because I want to set it to play for 10 seconds. So to set it to play for 10 seconds or 5 seconds or whatever, I'm going to have to have a start time. Now, this is the time per move. So I've got it at 5 at the moment, but that's just testing. I need to set it for small. If I was playing a game, I could set it for 15, or I could have a control here to say level, and say level 1 is 10 seconds, level 2 is 20 seconds, etc., etc. Okay? So that's been done. Now I've got to create a function to check the time. Okay? I'm going to create it. Let me see, where can I create it? I'll create it here. I'll create it by Minimax. And as you can see, it gets the time in this. I want it in this format here. It's not going to be a function that runs all the time, but it's just going to give me in that format. It's just a number. All I care about is, I don't want a date, a month, and whatever. I just want that format there. And what that will do, it would say if that number is greater than the start time, then it will set the game stop to true. So when the game stop is set to true, other functions would know that you have to stop. Okay? So that's all that is. Now I'm going to go to alphabet, and I'm going to have to add something in here so that it recognizes that. And I'm going to add it under here. And it's going to be one line, and I'm going to explain it because it's going to be a bit of a maths thing. So I've added the position, and what it is, I want to check whether the time's exhausted. So how I'm going to do it is, I'm going to use that position number to check, and what that means is I'm adding it, and what that means is I'll demonstrate in here. Where can I demonstrate? Okay, I'll demonstrate with 15. Okay, so if I do 16 and it with 15, I'll get 0. If I do 1 and with 15, I'll get 1. 2, I get 2, etc., etc., until I get to 15, and I'm going to get 15 to 15. And then when I get to 16, I get 0, and I also get 0 for 32. Okay, I'm going to show you why that is. 15 is a bunch of it's a bunch of zeros. I'm going to put 3 dots, which means infinity. It starts with a bunch of zeros to infinity, then it ends with 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ones. That's 15 in binary. Now, if we AND 15 with any number, because the start is all zeros, I'll put X to mean any number. Anything ANDed with them, we're just going to get a bunch of zeros here. Okay. So if I AND anything with that, we're going to get a bunch of zeros here. Now, to get a bunch of zeros here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the last 4 digits, we need that to be a 0, that to be a 0, that to be a 0, and that to be a 0. So we need numbers that end with 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now 16 is that, so it ends with 4 zeros. 32 is that. 64 is that. In fact, what am I talking about? Yeah, that's 16. Yeah, that's 32. That's 64. That's 128. That's 256. They all end with 4 zeros. Also, 48 ends with 4 zeros. So 48, if I do 48, we get 0. So what is, the reason I'm using that is, I'll tell you why I'm using this now. (8192) is a number. I don't know. It looks like 15. It's like that. It's something. It's like that. So the reason I'm using that is I want it to only call that function every 8,192 times. The reason I'm not. Another way I could do it, I could use position, and I could use modulus, and I can use 8192. Okay, I could do that. But the reason I'm not doing it is modulus function is too slow, whereas this is doing an AND, so it uses one processor cycle, so it's much faster than a modulus. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So what this means is every 8,000 times, check for that, check that time, and that's all that's for. Okay. So that will check the time. So if the time's expired, it will set that stop to true. Okay. And then I want to do something for it to jump out of it. So what I want to do is I want to paste something just below here. And it's going to be similar to that. I want it when the game, just like this one here, the gameplay must be more than 0 and this game stop. That means this game stop equals true. Then it will just return the score. So no matter, normally it come past here and it will go in here and it will fill the move list and it will loop all the moves that will carry on in the recursive function. But this will just put a block. As soon as the time runs out, that line will just put a block on it and it will just exit it. It will eventually exit it. It will return. Like if it was down the tree, that would just be a block on it and it will just return all the results back up and it wouldn't get any further. So once the time runs out, min max would just stop. Okay? Stop going down the tree. And all of these, every time that it comes into a min max, once it gets to this line, once that is set to stop, it will return the score. Okay, and it already worked out the score from here, so that will be accurate. That will be an accurate score. Well, it won't be accurate, but it will be better than nothing. But anyway, it doesn't matter if it's accurate because we're not going to. If it exits the program prematurely, we're not going to use the results. Like for instance, if it was at a depth of 6 and it finished and it got the best score, we'll use that score. And what if it was at a depth of 7 and then it ran out of time? It will exit and we wouldn't use that score, so it doesn't, because that score because what happened is this would have stopped prematurely, so the score would be no good to us, so we wouldn't use it for that depth. Okay, so that's now in place now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to computer start, and I'm going to set this up so that it can work for us. So the first thing I'm going to do is set, I just need a variable set temp score. I'm just going to set that to -1. Okay. And then before the game starts, I'm going to set some parameters. I'll tell you what this is. Game starts. So this will tell me when the game starts. Now, how I prefer to do it is, there's lots of ways people can do things. Okay. Time per move. I think that's going to be a constant. So we'll have to, oops, it's not working. I think I'm going to have to add that there. It's going to be a constant. Okay, how I prefer to do it is, I prefer to add the time on. Okay. So this gets the time, then I add the seconds on, and then when I test it, I've just got to test if it's greater than it. I prefer, you can do it any way you want. Some people prefer to minus and say if it's more than 0, but it doesn't really matter. I just prefer doing it that way. Okay. So that's there now. So what I need to do now is I'm gonna replace that beta with something that does a loop. Well, I'm going to paste it in, and then I'm going to explain it. Right, that best, I'm going to keep it there, but in fact, I'm going to copy it. And I'm just going to comment it out. I'm going to modify it because I don't want to change the function. I don't want to have to change a lot of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy some things in, and let's talk about it. So what this does is, instead of wait there, what have I done, man? First, find this move. So I haven't declared find this move. So I'm gonna have to declare the let's declare find this move. Let find this move equals, okay. So that's done. Alright, what this does is it goes into a loop. I just selected 200. I didn't know how much to select. Okay, I should have done a while loop, in fact. But I selected 200, but it's not going to go to depth of 200. And what it will do is, before we're calling alpha beta once and just getting the result, and we're doing whatever with it. Now we're going to call alpha beta. In fact, I need to set that to, let me set that to 1. We start with a depth of 1. Okay. Or shall I start with a depth of 2? Oh, we start with 1. We start with a depth of 1. And we call alpha beta, and we give it a depth of 1, and then we get back the temp score. And then what we do is, this is where we select, this is where we say we'd only accept the score if the clock is still running. Okay. So if this game stop equals false, then it will accept that move into the finest move. Else it will just break if the if the clock is not stopped, it will just break. So when this finest move, it will always have a legitimate move, and it wouldn't have a move that was generated when alpha beta was disturbed. Okay, and that's what we want to achieve. So all that's left to do is we just have to get the finest move out, and the finest move is going to be the last move put in, because that's going to be at the deepest depth. So for us to get it, all we have to do is replace that with that, and that should be it. Okay, so that loop, as soon as the time runs out, that loop will break out. Okay, so it's going to come in here, it's going to come in here, and it's going to run this. If it doesn't break out, if it does, the time doesn't run out, it will carry on. It will check, has the time run out? If the time hasn't run out, it will push that in there, then it will carry on in the loop, and then we'll do it again to depth of 2, depth of 3, depth of 4, depth of 5, 6, 7, and this finest move will be filled with the best move at depth 1, the best move at depth 2, depth 3, depth 4, depth 5, depth 6, etc. And we can probably use that in our other video to do some other stuff with it. Okay? And then when we finish, we want the move with the deepest depth, because that will probably be the best move. And all the time, when it's going through the depths, it's going to be filling up the cache. So it should be quite okay. So what I'm going to do now is, now that I've minimized this, I can test it. Let me just do a save before. I don't want to type all that again. Let me just do a save before I do anything. And I'll test it. Right there. Let's check. 5 seconds of move. I've done it at. So let's see what happens. Can you see that? It took 5 seconds to make that move, and it went to a depth of 10. So I'm going to go again. That time went to a depth of 11. I just want to play a couple of moves and see what depth it goes to. And we're going to see that it's going to different depths. And can you see it played for 5 seconds again? Let me just do that. So that went to a depth of 10 there. Let me make a second front on here. Let me make some. Let's put a move there. So that was a depth of 9. You see that there, it went to a depth of 14 there, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Because the game, there's less pieces now, it is now going to new depths, and now it's gone to 21. got no choice but to go there. And there you go, you beat me up. So cash total size of the cash was half a million. I also added some new stuff in there. I forgot to tell you about that, but anyway. If I go to here, I added the cash used. That is the total amount of time it's used. So it was used nearly 5.5 million times. The size of the cache was 500,000. So it went to 500,000. So it didn't ever breach. So I never had to, it never got to the limit. Right. I think this is about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this code up. I might do one more video. I'm probably going to do one more video. However, this code is going to be available at that link there. So if you want to look at this code, feel free to look at it. But this is a fully functional game because now we can set, all we have to do is set this to 10 seconds a move, and I think that's reasonable. So I can leave it like that at 10 seconds a move. The only problem we're gonna have with it, I think, is if it doesn't kill the memory. In fact, it has killed the memory. It hasn't. It's released the memory. As long as it releases the memory, it should be fine. Okay, that's Connect4, and I'm gonna probably make another video and I'll discuss some other things. Okay, so thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.